Jimmy Carragher decided to open his mouth and discredit African Cup of Nations. And I can see everybody, jumping on that bandwagon. Everybody has been blasting him ever since. And this just prompted me to, remake research and go into why is all this happening and why is this generally happening to African football. It gave me the urge to actually find and to go and make my research concerning African football. And I found out this reality of African football and the 5 challenges that African football has. Don't forget. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to big up yourself because whenever you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe as we go into the video. But quickly going into this video, I would like to know, we want to look at 5 key challenges of African football. These are the 5 key challenges that is all affecting African football till date. Big up yourself. Don't forget to smash up the like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Now, getting into the video, I've put up 5 great challenges that is affecting African football. And the first on this list is poor infrastructure. Poor infrastructure. Now, the problem we are having in Africa, first African football, that's why we keep claiming that this African football is being disrespected. Is not. They don't take it seriously. Why people like Jimmy Carragher can make this comment about African football? They do that because of the poor infrastructure in African football. Look at the challenges look at that. That one is the key word. There are no important things. Everything that is needed to promote that football is not available. There is no VAR. VAR is not properly, kudos to the previous AFCON. They have been able to get the VAR, and the VAR was on top notch. It shows that when Africa wants to do something, we can actually do it right. But the point is, are these officials, and this is an appeal to NFL, to CAF. CAF needs to look into properly structuring our football so that these people can respect us. And that's why somebody can go out there, and start calling African football, that's when people will actually treat it like it actually matters. It matters. Poor infrastructure means it shows that football, that arrangement and organization has not been good enough. Poor infrastructures in the sense that they are not able to get everything that they need in Africa. Imagine African Cup of Nations not being able to be played at the specific time, at the proper time that competition needs to be played. That is when we find out that many African teams now, you have imagine there was a game I was supposed to be African that was supposed to be fixed for a particular point that will be postponed, all because the things that are needed are not ready. Some teams don't even have stadiums to play game. All these things, poor infrastructure everywhere, and it is affecting from the top, not just everywhere, from the top to the bottom. This has always been a challenge when it comes to African football. So the biggest number 1 problem that African football have is poor infrastructures. They just don't have the necessary equipment that they need to properly, do things right in Africa. Now, moving on to the second point, the second challenge that I feel that is wrong with African football, and that is financial instability and poor management. Now, there are 2 things involved in this place. You have the financial aspect, which has to do with money. Now, in Africa, so-called leaders, now this is beyond, even football generally. Generally, our leaders in Africa have always made it a point of duty for them that they actually ignore the right thing, and they will not do the right thing, and they will use our money somewhere else where they are supposed to help for the main cause. You understand? They use it on frivolous things. So the same thing, one way where the financial instability, because the people don't get backings, for this thing. No TV rights, nothing. And the reason why there's no TV rights is because these tournaments are not organized properly. They are not proper enough. Now in Africa, we need to let there be accountability in everything that we do, especially when it comes to our football. That's when people will be able to put their money and support the sport and get into it, and also be able, personally themselves, to put their money and invest their money so that they can be more. Because look at all the European competition, look at Euros, look at every other World Cup. There is more, as in more TV rights, more everything into it, because the money that is going into it, people know that they will get it back. For example, the way World Cup is being covered and the way the Euros is being covered, look at AFCON. Sometimes in most countries, AFCON's matches doesn't even have commentary. Some of the match, according to what we heard, they join the game 5 minutes or 10 minutes into the game before they link up and with no commentary. So it makes them think that it's not sure. There is no financial stability because people don't feel like when I put money in this type of nation, there is no guarantee. There is no way that I'm going to get my money back. So one way or the other, how am I going to put my money in that? And then thereby there is no money for them to spend and to proper plan the particular competition. So it makes the competition look shabby as if there's nothing there. And we have quality players in Africa who are making us proud, even in the top leagues in the world. If they have come over, okay, for example, one of the challenges Salah is having is because AFCON is not regarded well. And that's why I'm telling you, I keep saying we've written it on this channel. If Salah doesn't win Ballon d'Or or Ballon, whatever they call it at the moment, I'm going to actually know that all these things that they are doing, all this charade that they call this thing is actually rubbish. So for me, I think one of the second biggest problem is financial instability because there's no money in the game, and then the little money that's even coming in, that is they're supposed to use to play football, is being squandered by our leaders. Moving to the next aspect of the reasons why the reality affecting our football, a number 3 issue is the issue of players exodus and drain of talent. Now, what do I mean by this? We have some of our talents, going abroad, going to traveling abroad to find way for themselves. They go out, they go into there, they put their energy up there, and that's why you have go there. All of our players, I can start naming from the beginning to the end. Look at David Alaba at the moment. Look at Manuel Akanji look at Jamal Musiala playing for Germany. Look at many, I can count them. Look at Bukayo Saka playing for England. These people will go and just face it. All our talents, this will definitely choose to play for this Super Company. Why? Because they are organized, because they have stability in infrastructure, and they have financial prudence is there, and there is always a kind of a backup or a good a relaxed and chilled mind, that they playing for that particular country will help them, will probably get them better options, better challenge. And that's why we have them. Look at all the players in the world, the greatest player in the world. Imagine when you have the likes of Kylian Mbappe, who happens to be the best player in the world right now, or being from Cameroon, having that affiliation with Cameroon or so on and so forth. All these people, imagine them having to, if Africa, we actually are well, to do our things right, and players don't run away. Okay, look at it. How many of Nigerian players can play in the Nigerian Premier League? Victor Osimhen is playing in Napoli, and they are treating him anyhow. He can't come back and play. Thank God for the likes of what's his name, Brown Day, and some other guy like Shehu Abdullahi that has gone to play for likes of Kano Pillars and co. If not for all these guys that decide to choose to play for our league, it's not good enough that our players cannot go. Imagine Spanish players will go back home and play for their Spanish team. We are finding it difficult for our players to come and play in our own league. Why? Because at the moment they are not doing well. Even in the league is not proper. It's not properly done. It's not properly arranged, and there is nothing. So for me, another big challenge is that fact that there is drained talent. There is drained talent. All our talents have moved away to play for other countries. Now, another challenge that I feel like we are moving into that's also causing a big problem in our is limited grassroots development. Now, look at it. Look at our local league. I keep saying it. Till today, there is no proper station broadcasting the CAF champion. Okay, I think CAF Champions League is available on Passport. But even here in Nigeria, there is no station hearing the local league or any league. And I'm expecting, we have the likes of Bila FM, we have the likes of institutions who could actually acquire this right, but there are no grassroots development facilities to develop all the talents coming from Africa. What am I talking about? Okay, look at the Nigerian Premier League and look at the rest. They find it difficult to even get sponsors. Now, I keep saying something. You cannot get sponsors when you are not properly organized. Who will put his money in what will not bring money for him? Why do we rate English Premier League as one of the league in the world, the best league in the world? Why? Because they are well organized and they develop all that they need. They make sure that all their football from grassroots, they have the under 21s, they have the under 18s, they have the under 19s. They also have some leagues, lower leagues, and many leagues, that is able to, apart from the top flight football, they are the lower grounds, to pick up talent from those local areas. Let me tell you something. Nigeria has the highest population in Africa, and there is no doubt that we are producing one of the best players in the world because we have the numbers, we have the quantity. It's like having a class of 100 children and a class of 10 children. There is a very high tendency that you're going to get spectacular children who will be coming from a class of 100 than a class of 10. So there is nothing you can tell me. One of the problems is that we are not stretching our tentacles to those corners, into those. Go to Grassroots when people are playing a lot more kuya in our area there, where people are just, monkey post, 5-a-side, go and see players. But there is nobody there to pick them. Only those who are able to move up, who are able to find their way, smuggle themselves, fight their way into those parts. Those are the ones that are able to actually make it into, top life football. And that is one of the things I see that is the problem. And finally, the last one I'll be talking about, which I think is the of them all, like Edo Pikin will say, like the general overseer of them all, is the inconsistency in officiating and also governance issues. Inconsistency in officiating and governance issues. Inconsistency and governance. Now, let me tell you something. In Football Fan View group, there will be some goals I'm telling you that you will see, and they will hold the goal as offside. If you see some offside rule in our league, in Nigeria Premier League, and generally if you see some offside, if you see some penalties that has been issued in African football, if you just go and watch it. I've seen a ref end the game 5 minutes before the end of the game in the first side. He ends the game, and that was it. Inconsistency in officiating. Some people, home team are always favored. In Africa, home team are always favored. It is difficult for you to go. Thank God for the likes of some leagues like in the South African Premier League, where some people now can actually go into it and we have some away wins. My country, Nigeria, it is difficult. If you see a team win away, they go use stone pursue the away team come up for that place, and that should not be happening. Inconsistency and a lot of bad, governance. Some people owing salaries, owing a lot of things that you shouldn't even be hearing in African football is what you hear, and these things are the things that actually makes our football. That's why people look at us outside and say, these people are not serious, and it's the truth. People are not serious. They will look at us and say, these people are on serious element. They are not even serious. And that's why the likes of Jimmy Carragher can come up here and be saying all those things. I saw Mikel Obi, the way he responded to it, and he was actually furious. And that's why I wish in Africa, people who actually knows this game should be the one officiating this game. If you are not officiating this game, if you have not played this game before, I see no reason why you should be in the system. And I keep saying it. Even let me bring it down to NFL. I'm telling you that NFL needs to put people who has this mind of football in the game before things will get better. And the same thing goes for African football. The governance needs to improve. There has to be willingness to do the right thing at all times. And I'm doing this video right now to push this out there and to tell all other content creators who might see this particular video for you to go and also push it that Africa, we need to at least do this right. We have good players in Africa and we can do this right. And yes, it is right for me to have said all these things. I could have said all these things, but one thing I know and one thing I'm sure about is the fact that it's not as if we cannot get it right. We can get it right. But how can we get it right? The best way to get it right is improve in these 5 things. I know there are more things that we feel like that you might feel that could be a problem. Don't please put it in the comment section if you feel that I've omitted one or there's something I think you need to add that could improve African football. But overall, I think we need to improve on all these particular that I've listed here. That is the only way we could get better in our football, and people will not be looking at us like people who are not serious. Let me tell you something. That is just a reality. Until we change our mindset, until we change the way we address our football, until the leaders of CAF, African football decide to do the right thing and make it, then that is when we can actually command respect. Why would we not have commentary? Why would we not have proper TV rights, you know, for people who are in diaspora or in other countries to also watch African Cup of Nations, just like we watch other European football? Is it possible for you to be watching an Euro and there is no commentary, or there is no the game is, you know, the game is joined halfway? All these things should not be in football until we improve on all these 5 things: poor infrastructure, financial instability, and players, get our players to move over there, and for them to be able to enjoy playing here in Africa. And then grassroots development, developing every corner. Let there be young academies out there where children can go to and develop their skills in football. And then proper officiating. You know, shouldn't be referees. They should find a way, you know, to separate the referees from the players, whereby the issue of beating of ref and doing all those things and teaching ref wrong will not be happening in football. Pick up everybody that watch the video to this length. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe, and I would like to know in the comment section what you think is the problem with African football and what you think is the solution to that. Pick up everybody for watching the video. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.